I kind of got in a unique situation. I had left a job to seek better employment, as far as hours and money, so on and so forth. So I did that voluntarily, had a start date of a new job. Unfortunately, with everything that took place with COVID-19, with that job, I was only trained in for a month. And so when I went online to do my unemployment, what had happened was they had to fall back on previous employment because I didn't make enough at my current position that I'm currently laid off in, to qualify through them. So what happened was the system showed that I had quit my job, which was correct, but I did it voluntarily with a start date of a new job. I ended up being denied the unemployment, even though I got letters in the mail saying that I qualified. But I kind of got lost in the middle because of that, and they didn't look into it any further to show that I did actually qualify because of the COVID-19 crisis. So with that said, I ended up finally getting a hold of somebody through the live chat, found out about this information of being denied, and that was one of the reasons why I hadn't heard anything. Things are on the right path now. It seems as though I'm getting money on what we know as the Reliant card, which is the unemployment way of getting your money if you don't have direct deposit. But I have yet to see the card. I don't know where it's at. It says there's one in the system, but I have yet to receive it. So I think I have money there according to the website, but I have no access to it. So that's where I'm at right now, is just waiting to find out where that card is and if they actually sent it or if someone else got it. Who knows? What happens is, I guess, and I didn't know much about it either, but there's actually something, there's a law in place, unemployment, that if you quit a job voluntarily and you have a predetermined start date of a new job, that in situations such as this, I guess, which I didn't know about, you do qualify. Because typically if you just quit a job just because or whatever, you don't like it anymore, most likely you don't qualify for unemployment. Most people know that. But in this situation, I quit to go to a new job. That allowed me the access to unemployment because of what happened. But because everything was done online, I didn't actually get to, because it was horrible to try to get through to open up an initial claim. So I was told and found out that doing it online was the best way to get your initial claim open. So that's what I did. However, the downside of that is not talking to somebody to give them more information about what's going on in your particular situation. What happened with my claim was they only saw that I quit my last job, because my current job, like I said, there's a certain amount that you have to make, and it's roughly like $3,200, and I was at least one paycheck away from earning that much to qualify through unemployment based on that company. So you have to fall back on a previous employer. Once I did get my claim open, and I was trying, after 3 or 4 weeks of not hearing anything, I got my initial papers in stating that I had been determined to be financially eligible, which, again, from what I said before, even though I received that paperwork in the mail, I was still denied. So that's one thing that's pretty tricky, and I learned that through all this too, is you may get all that information saying that you're financially determined to be eligible for unemployment, but then when something like what I went through happens, it's not the case at all. I was actually denied even after all the paperwork was sent to me in the mail saying I was good to go. So it's a good thing that I was worried about where my card was and where my money was, because I began to then, instead of waiting, like a lot of people probably still are, so I'm here to say, don't wait. Do whatever you can to get a hold of people, because you don't know for sure what's going on with your claim until you really talk to somebody. The online chat room, you actually talk to somebody in the system. I mean, it's right on the PA unemployment website. They give you different ways to contact them. It's the phone number. It's what they call a live chat, which I don't know if it's something new, but it did initially work for me when I finally got through with that. But that wasn't easy either. That was, again, the live chat. I started 10 minutes prior to their opening time, and I just continued to hit, live chat until I finally got connected. Boy, that's exciting when you finally get connected to somebody and you think you're on the right path. So as far as direct deposit, yeah, I did that. After I finally I tried a couple weeks, or about a week ago, tried to set up, because you can set up your automatic deposit online through the website as well. When I finally decided, you know what, this card may never show up, I'm going to do online, because I was so afraid to do that, because I didn't want to shove another monkey wrench into my personal activity in my account and make it screw up even more. So I was afraid to do anything for quite a while. I hope you can understand that. And since it sounded like everything was on track, I decided to try. That website was down. I could not file for direct deposit because you couldn't get into the website. Now, you're here this morning with this great news as far as that goes. I got on today. The site was back open and running, so I was able to fill out all my stuff to get direct deposit. That takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, they say. So if a card never shows up, at least I'll have that to fall back on if I don't start my job. However, probably means I won't have access to any of that money that's already sitting on that card wherever it's at. Sometimes I feel bad about being down on my situation, because I know that there are people out there that are even in a worse situation than me, you know, and when you go through this, you feel for everybody that you know is in the same type of situation. So I'm fortunate that we do have income coming through my wife. However, it's great that there were some things put in place, you know, like, hey, don't worry about utilities being shut off. So, but we're doing okay as far as that goes. It's just really frustrating that that there's money out there that's yours that you just can't get access to. My situation is bad, but it could be a lot worse, and so I'm just thankful for that. And I hope that, some of the tips that I've talked about can help anybody that's in the same kind of situation. The big thing is, don't give up. Just keep on trying to get through. And if you haven't heard anything for a while, don't think that you're qualified just because you got that letter in the mail that says you were financially able, because you can still be denied and not have a clue what's going on until you get a hold of somebody. It's horrible to be on hold for 6 hours of your day to try to get through to somebody, but eventually it's worth it. When you finally get that first person to talk to, or that first person to live chat to, it's a great feeling. I mean, you really feel like finally I've gotten somebody that I can find out what's going on. And for that feeling alone, it was worth all the time on hold.